Welcome to All in a Day's Work, where employee relations issues meet workplace solutions. This show is an open forum to help employees and managers meet in the middle as they strive for greater productivity and more harmony in the workplace. Your host, Steven Hollingsworth, is an employee relations specialist and motivational speaker, striving to help employees and managers work together to make work better. The phone lines are open at 702-483-4444. That's 702-483-4444. Now, let's get to work and bring on the host. Here is Steven Hollingsworth.
Hello, everyone, and happy Saturday, and welcome to another episode of the All in a Day's Work radio show. I am your host, Steven Hollingsworth, and here with a wonderful guest for today who is going to help us in a lot of ways, more ways than I don't think he even knows how much he's going to help us today. But I'm going to start with our sponsor. All in a Day's Work is brought to you by Cash Jewelry Creations. Whether you want something fun and trendy or an elegant piece for that special occasion, Cash Jewelry Creations has a unique jewelry design just for you. Call 702-403-2797. That's 702-403-2797 today. Cash Jewelry Creations, handcrafted with care and ready to wear. Now, I actually posed a question on Facebook at the beginning of the week, and I wanted to know did people feel like they were being utilized in their work the way they were supposed to be, if they felt like that creativity was something that was frowned upon in a lot of their workplaces. And I got quite a few responses that, yes, they felt like they were not being utilized correctly, and that they were really creativity was not something that was welcomed in their work area. Well, I have a gentleman with me who actually, that's his expertise, not only just with his own creativity, but with making creativity blossom in a lot of the areas where he works, a lot of the companies and people that he works for. His name is Mr. Josh Carpenter, and he is, now I'm going to tell you what he said. He says he's the technical advisor of the Impact Image Marketing. Now, welcome, Mr. Josh. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, I'm so glad that you actually came on. We've actually been talking for quite a long time.
Yes.
I'm not going to say quite a few years, but it's been a while.
Yes.
And I just felt like that your story is one that a lot of people need to hear. They need to know about the things that are going on within their companies that they need to look for, but also how to take their creativity and use it with their passions and create what they really are looking for when it comes to work. So I want you to start with telling people a little bit about your story.
Okay. Originally, when I started, how far back should I go?
You can go back as far as you would like.
Well, let's go back to the age of 12 years old.
Yes, I love it.
Felt the passion for being a business owner. My mom didn't like to cook, and we'd always have TV dinners for the most part, so I liked going out to eat, and Taco Bell was one of those places that I just had to have constantly at the age of 12. And so I had such a passion just for eating the food and just being so happy about everything that I could get there. And my mom and I went to Taco Bell one day, and we sat in the restaurant. And she asked me, she said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I look around and I said, "I want to own a Taco Bell."
Oh.
So I go to the bathroom and I come back, and about 5 minutes later, she's sitting there with the store manager of the Taco Bell. And we're talking about franchising at the age of 12 years old. Now, of course, at that age, I didn't really understand it too much, but I knew I wanted to be a business owner. And I think it was the encouragement of that Taco Bell owner that really said, you know what, follow your dream and do what you want. And so from there, I continued forward. I studied hard in school. I was about a B plus average. So, and then moving forward from there, after I did that, I went to the U.S. Navy.
Oh.
And I was stationed in Yokosuka, Japan. I got out in 1999 due to a medical discharge for Crohn's disease, which is an inflammatory bowel disease. So I'm in a situation to where I'm out in Japan, I'm by myself, no family around me. I find out that I have this disease and that I'm going to be leaving the military. So growing up in Lake Arrowhead, California, it's such a small town, I decided I needed a change. So I moved to Las Vegas, where my father was living at the time.
Culture shock.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. The only thing I recognized was McDonald's.
Yeah.
And they had a Wendy's, maybe. So they have these teriyaki burgers, very good in Japan. A little bit different menu, but it's good stuff. So after that, I moved here to Vegas, and I really decided, what I wanted to do, kind of fine-tune that. So I did a lot of 9-to-5 jobs, started off in call centers, just really getting the feel of corporate America. And I decided to take action, and I joined Las Vegas College at the time, which is now Everest College. They've changed. And I went for my degree in business administration with a minor in marketing. As soon as I got out of that, while I was actually going to school, I had a business on the side that I would do as a club promoter because music was my passion at the time and I wanted to be around it. And I knew I couldn't be a DJ in one of the clubs at the time because the commitment was just a little bit more than I was willing to give at that time. So I decided that I would be a different portion of it. I would be the connector. I'd be the networker, if you will, between DJ and venue owner. And so I started cultivating that as I was going to school, and as I learned business law, I started incorporating and just really applying while I was learning, because I'm more of a hands-on person, and it really put me in that take action kind of mode. So from there, after I graduated, about 5 years of sitting in corporate America, realizing that my creativity was just passed along like it was nothing. I had a feeling like they didn't empower me. When I lived in Japan, one of the things that I like there the best is they work 6 days a week, but aside from that is they empower their employees. They have suggestion boxes. They actually implement and put something from a low-level employee. It goes straight to the CEO of the company, and they implement that stuff. They don't push it aside, and they really take it into consideration. And the communication that the corporations are getting from their employees and their ideas makes the workflow and the stream of the industry out in Japan just amazing in the way that they produce. And I think that's kind of the cornerstone of the way that it should be. We were talking a little bit before about the culture of Google and Facebook and how they empower their employees. I was telling you that they have Facebook has a hackathon once a year, and in that hackathon, they basically have everyone look for the weaknesses in Facebook or how they could create things to make it better. They just let them go loose on it. And the innovative, creative ideas that you see on Facebook are actually coming from that. So if every company did something similar to that to boost that creativity, I think that would really come out. So after my as I was going back to my first company with S&M Consulting, which is social network marketing, I spent 1 year doing networking, going to various networking events at least, 3 times a week minimum for like a whole year. And I really pushed myself in getting to know the business community and immersing myself around the people I wanted to emulate, and having that motivation driving force from their passion, coming into my passion.
See, I think you've hit so many different areas. Just talking about the way things should be, the way that things are supposed to be, the creative forces that are behind a lot of great inventions, behind a lot of great companies, come from people that were not in high-level positions, but they were utilized. I think so often what ends up happening is a lot of people get passed over because they are in a quote-unquote lower-level position and should not have those type of ideas flowing from them. But it's like the companies, do you think maybe they're afraid to allow their company, their employees to actually be seen as being creative, or what?
I think it's kind of a mix between ego, that kind of mentality that, I don't want you to take over. I want to seem more powerful in the company, and all the ideas should come from me. And when we can relate to clients, employees on a more genuine personal level and see what they really have to offer from their life experiences that could really affect the innovation of the company, I think that you should at least listen.
Well, I mean, the fact that somebody like you said, Facebook or Google, having a hackathon, basically inviting outsiders to come in and help them improve their product, to make them a better company, and to be able to serve their customers better. Why shouldn't other companies do a similar situation with people who are actually on the inside?
Well, it's funny you say that. I kind of adopted that philosophy for my own business, and usually before I'll take any client on, we have to have at least a minimum of a 1 hour, consultation to where we go over, because I want to make sure that my clients, one, can relate to me on a genuine level, that we get the like, trust, and respect aspect going, and that you feel I can really help you out and make you excel in your company and show you the results that we want. And if I'm not that person, I'm going to be honest. It's not just about, wanting to get your money and say I could do anything. I'm gonna tell you what I can offer you, give you my limitations, and if we work for each other, then great. And if not, I'll refer you and help you out in a different way that my skill may not cover. So it's not really pushing someone away. It's that one-on-one genuine caring about an individual, and you lose that so much in corporations. And I think we just need to bring that back for all of the industries.
Is it because we have kind of gotten away from being personable?
Yes. Technology has kind of led us to that, but I think it's more of an individual belief on how we want to be inside and how we want to spread our joy and our message out to people. And I think your personal life really has a lot to do with your business life. If you're not happy in your personal, you're not going to be happy in your business. You have to really dig into yourself and realize, what your faults are, what your fears are, and what your tribulations are. And you take all of those experiences and you really strategize on how can I take that in order to help people in my situation that I was in. And a lot of public speakers really do this. They speak from their experiences. That's
true. That's where the best speeches actually come from, because you get to share that with the audience. And those audience members who have gone through can say, yes, I've been there and done that. So with the companies, though, with them looking at their employees and saying, why can't I trust someone who is working for me when I hired them? Why can't I believe that maybe they have some great ideas that could help my company push forward?
I think it's a matter of really just asking. A lot of people are intimidated by higher level corporate figures, and that fear really just, I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to say anything. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut and do my job, make my paycheck, and that's it. And that's been the mentality of so many workers, and you see it going to fast food places or a store where someone will just say, hey, here you go, here's your meal, your money, whatever, and there's no genuine personal level saying, well, thank you so much for coming by. Have a great day.
You know what? I think nowadays these suggestion boxes have started to become the sign up to get fired boxes. That's what a lot of people actually are starting to believe.
I could see that.
Yeah, I think they're afraid of letting go and actually saying, you know what? I am valuable.
Yes.
I am valuable, and I'm going to push forward with what it is that I know that I should be doing for this company as well. And if I have the ability to help them, then I should. And if they won't let me, then maybe I need to find somewhere else to be.
Exactly. And this is where I want to bring in another point. Sometimes when we do things for free and we're providing our time, it really shows our passion behind it. So if there is somewhere you want to go or something you want to do, immerse yourself in it by volunteering and just really trying to get into it and understand it and gain some experiences. In the business world, they say something that's called paying your dues. And what that means is you have to go through all of the learning experiences. because you have to put in some free work, and you have to really immerse yourself in your projects and your back office and everything. So you got to pay your dues before you really get out there. I've heard a lot of speakers say, yeah, I was an overnight success, but it was the longest 10 years of my life.
That's a good one. I like that. In 10 years of overnight, that'll work.
Exactly.
Okay, we're actually going to take a short break. And when we come back, actually, I want to talk a little bit about collaboration and actually going through and allowing your pressing the flesh to become a means to success with your company. All in a day's work. We'll be right back.
The song says, everybody wants to rule the world. Well, I can help managers, supervisors, and staff rule. Maybe not the world, but the workplace or just your corner of it. So if you're looking for more productive employees, more effective communication, and better company morale, contact me, Steven Hollingsworth, at 702-589-0993. That's 702-589-0993. Or visit my website at www.stevenhollingsworth.net and let me customize a seminar for your company today. Let's work together to make work better.
Saturday nights from 7 to 10, it's the Chill Zone with your host, Randy M. Join Randy as he takes you through a journey of smooth electronic music and beyond. It's the Chill Zone with your host, Randy M. Every Saturday night from 7 to 10, only on VegasAllNetRadio.com.
Are you tired of wearing the same accessories as everyone else around town? Are you fed up with paying top dollar for fashion jewelry that breaks after you wear it once or twice? Why not try a custom handmade piece from Cash Jewelry Creation? That's Cash with a K. Most of the pieces in the Cash collection are made with real gemstones and quality metals like sterling silver and stainless steel. Whether you want something fun and trendy or a touch of elegance for that special occasion, Cash Jewelry Creations can design a one-of-a-kind piece for you today. To view the Cash collection or talk about a custom design, call 702-403-2797. That's 702-403-2797. Cash Jewelry Creations. That's Cash with a K. Handcrafted with care. Ready to wear.
Cab love, brown sugar, partner said it like, yeah, y'all, yeah, y'all, yeah, y'all. Just my mic so I can touch it up right quick. Show them how Brooklyn do, you know what I mean? Yeah. Listen, yo, let's start it up. Let's get it flowing. Let's make a move. Let's get it going. I know it's feeling like everything you want, don't it? And you've been waiting.
All in a Day's Work is back, and we are here with the great Mr. Josh Carpenter.
Hello.
And he has actually been taking us through, allowing us to know that your creativity actually is such a key to a lot of your product success, to successes as far as businesses are concerned. So right now what we're going to talk about is, we talked about how technology has really changed an awful lot as we were growing up, and how people are becoming more becoming technical experts. I'll say that, but some of us, we're just learning how to do a few of the functions on our cell phone. I'm guilty. So so many people are using that, and they have become less personable. But it really takes a lot of collaboration in order to be successful in businesses. Is that something that you found to be true?
Yes, very much so. What made me a good collaborator was the willingness to be able to learn. When I started networking, it was about going out and learning as much as I could. I wasn't afraid to ask questions and be the lesser experienced of the people. It wasn't about ego for me. It was about learning as much as I could, emulating the people that were around me, and just really immersing myself into all of it. And so by asking those questions and going back to the drawing board and, spending hours upon hours of studying from professional speakers like Les Brown and, Tony Robbins, and just really, getting myself to the point of really being confident about my knowledge. Sometimes we have a lack of our experiences, but when I started collaborating, like once I learned everything and I got past that and I really started just doing masterminds with, groups, and I would sit back and I'd listen to what they say, and then all of a sudden all of these ideas just come to my head. And I'm a real good thinker on the spot, like when something happens, I can usually have an answer for it, or I'll have an idea that maybe your company hasn't thought of that I can at least, just put in as to get the wheel spinning. So collaboration is really just focusing on what the need of the company is, and then how you can take all of the tools that you've learned and the experiences that you have and incorporate that into the collaboration. And my niche in that is more social media and the technology base of things, and how to make your message effective, how to get it out there. And I think it's about, social media is about being social. It's not a one-sided thing. So we really have to understand that you want people to reply back to you. You want to make it a conversation. And I think it can really hold its genuine level of communication if it's done right. And I think that's a good way to really, collaborate, is to be open and to share, and to not be afraid to let your ideas out, because, hey, somebody's going to think it's a really great idea, even if, you're kind of subconscious about it.
I like the fact that you take the social media, but there's also just being social, getting the opportunity to go out to events, and not being afraid to actually have conversations with people who might know more about a specific topic than you do. So many times we get caught up in the term expert. I think because, but there's a difference of opinion in what is an expert. Because I think once you become comfortable in talking about a specific thing, you become an expert. Once you have placed yourself in a situation where your knowledge of a specific topic is one in which you could speak about it in a confident way, I personally believe that you're an expert. Some people are in jobs. I'll give you an example. People who have been in jobs 20 years, and they still don't consider themselves an expert. Now, how can you not be an expert in something you've worked for in 20 years?
Well, if we think of expertise, there's certain industries where you're not going to know everything. That's why we have different kinds of doctors. Not one doctor would, specifically know every different kind of medical teachings that are out there. So to me, the word expert would define that. If I said I was an expert in social media, there's over 350 social media sites. So for me to say that would have to mean that I have knowledge of all of those. So I don't consider myself an expert. I consider myself knowledgeable in various areas that can help you.
I like that. I like the way you put that. It gives, but you're so confident in what it is that you know, that you don't allow a person to come around that's going to question what it is that you know, because you know what you know.
Yes.
I think also for an expert, it's a person who is a little bit higher than basics.
Yes.
If you know how to do more than just turn the phone on, you could be considered an expert in a specific level. What was it that when you got out the opportunity to do your company, and you got to actually walk out amongst people, when did you become confident enough to be able to say, hi, this is what I do, and know that there were going to be people who were going to really take what you knew and want to bring you in as part of their company as well?
Well, this is where the honesty within yourself really comes in, and I really had to surrender to the fact that I could not do this by myself, that I needed help. And once you can get to that point where you realize that you can't do it all, and that you really should grasp onto people that are leaders in the industry or are very knowledgeable. So for me, I got a mentor and I got a coach. Her name is Amy Kodashi. She is a
great speaker.
Yes, she's an international author and speaker, and from her, she's a brilliant marketer as well. And I was able to learn so much through her, not only through self-development within myself and finding my core, but also she brought out my experiences and pushed me really hard to the point where I was doing things I didn't think I could do, like editing video, you know. And now I've got 2 commercials on her website that we've edited, and I've gotten great responses from it. And as you start to put your work out there and people start to believe in you, you start to go to masterminds, you start to collaborate, it's kind of like it affirms that your expertise for you, because you start to hear it from other people, and that kind of, you know, closes it.
Yeah. Now, I want you to explain to people what a mastermind is.
Mastermind is basically where you get several people together who are very knowledgeable in different areas. And an effective mastermind is where you're really getting the top leaders in certain areas and collaborating with them. And then taking that knowledge and really passing it on through your trainings and through your teaching and coaching. So a mastermind is basically to get people on the same level as you that will really, you know, flow forward and get you where you need to go, and great ideas.
Now, coming from an entrepreneur like yourself, there are some people who actually are in positions right now where their creativity is not being utilized.
Yes.
Where they are saying to themselves, I could actually run this company better than the people who are running it. But they might have a little fear. What would you say to them when it comes to the fear? Did you have fear when you decided to step out and start doing it yourself?
I did. I had a lot of fear, but I thought I could do it better. So I had to put those words into action and really, you know, could I do it? And I went out there, and as I started immersing myself in it, one thing led to another, and I learned I could. And I learned that anything is possible, and that any limitations that I thought were just limiting beliefs in my head.
I love that. I think that's what is going with a lot of people as well. You also said something, and I had to write this down to me about people who believe that they have to do it all. You said a jack of all trades, but not an expert in all.
Right. So the concept of that is that with my skill level, I have knowledge in various industries, but I don't consider myself to be an expert in all of those industries. I found my niche, and I become the knowledgeable or expert in that area, and then from there, that knowledge really, you know, gets me going. So, so yes, you can be a jack of all trades, but you can't be an expert at everything. And that's so true.
So you have to be open to basically collaborating, like you said, pressing the flesh, doing it on social media, but you have to keep that emphasis on being open to ideas outside of your own.
Exactly.
So that should help a lot of people out there who are looking at becoming entrepreneurs, who are fearful and think that they have to have so much knowledge. But there's so many other people out there who you can bring in that can actually be a part of what it is that you're doing, and you can trade, so to speak, with them. Okay, well, I can help you in this area because I know this, and you can help me in this other area because you know this, and it can make your entrepreneur ventures go even better.
I agree. One of the things that really helped me to excel is my openness and willingness to learn and to push myself. And I was learning things that, you know, sometimes we don't want to learn, like autoresponders, which is having emails that are sent out at specific times. I know how to do it, but I don't necessarily like it. And as business owners, we're going to have to do those things that we don't like in order to make the company strong. But it was in really pushing myself in each of those areas that helped me discover that I have the potential to do so many different things, and I can't believe after all these years I've limited myself.
See, I like the fact that you are still learning.
Yes.
You're allowing yourself to learn every day. I like that. We're actually going to take a short break and pay a couple of bills. And when we come back, we're actually going to talk about how you went about developing your team. What did you do that made it so great when it came to developing your team and going into the marketing aspect of it? All of today's work. We'll be right back.
Of public relations and marketing is creating front-of-mind awareness in your customers through consistent and regular exposure to your message. Whether it's through effective traditional media campaigns, exciting sales copy, captivating social media campaigns, or compelling search engine-friendly web content, Classy Communications PR and advertising can create a positive image of you, of your values, and of the quality product or service you provide. Our stable of professionals are specialists in media and community relations, crisis communications, social media marketing, Hispanic marketing, and public appearance training. With such depth, we can help you with your other communication needs as well. For a free consultation, call us at 702-845-6129 or visit our website, classycommunications.net. Classy Communications, where words sing. Are you tired of wearing the same accessories as everyone else around town? Are you fed up with paying top dollar for fashion jewelry that breaks after you wear it once or twice? Why not try a custom handmade piece from Cash Jewelry Creations? That's Cash with a K. Most of the pieces in the Cash collection are made with real gemstones and quality metals like sterling silver and stainless steel. Whether you want something fun and trendy or a touch of elegance for that special occasion, Cash Jewelry Creations can design a one-of-a-kind piece for you today. To view the Cash collection or talk about a custom design, call 702-403-2797. That's 702-403-2797. Cash Jewelry Creations. That's Cash with a K. Handcrafted with care. Ready to wear.
This is Jim Jonas asking you to listen to Veterans in Politics. Veterans in Politics is a weekly broadcast internet talk show hosted by myself, Jim Jonas, and Steve Sanson, president of Veterans in Politics Incorporated, that airs every Saturday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. at www.vegasallnetradio.com. Veterans in Politics' sole purpose is to teach, educate, and inform veterans on issues and the candidates that will affect them. Too many politicians say they support veterans and their issues, but their actions tell a different story. Here at Veterans in Politics, we will expose these politicians by giving them a chance to come in and explain their actions to veterans so veterans can truly make informed decisions. Listen every Saturday to stay informed and to hold politicians accountable for their votes.
All in a Day's Work is back, yes, and we are here to do our thing. That's right, trying to let you know a little bit about how you can take your creativity and your passion and be the person who is the expert in that field and become very successful, just like my guest, Mr. Josh Carpenter. Now, when we left, we were actually talking a little bit. We said we were going to come back and talk about how you went about developing your team. Was it through the networking part that you got the opportunity to learn the different people that are experts in fields? Or
yes, it was actually through the networking that I got to really learn who the players were, so to speak, and learn who the leaders were in some of the industries here locally. I started joining some organizations like Toastmasters, and I really got to immerse myself in that for quite a while. And I always consider myself a Toastmaster, and will always continue to be dedicated to my clubs.
Well, yeah, that's going to always be the case. We're going to hold you to that.
Yes.
Okay, so what are some of the other things that you went out and did? What type of groups or things did you go to and say, okay, I'm going here not only to get my name out, but to find out other people who might be in similar situations as me?
What I actually did is I found when I was paying my dues, the best way for me to become knowledgeable in the area was to be helpful. So I would go and I would help specific companies that really I felt could back me and help me later on as being part of my team. And when I realized that I'm not the expert in everything, that's when I started seeking my team and started seeking the experts in those industries that I needed, such as web development, graphic design, etc., etc. And through helping them with my skill of social media and teaching that and bestowing that upon them, it was a gratitude for them that someone would come in and help them without asking for any money, and that's rare in business sometimes nowadays. And by doing that, not only did I learn, but I gained them as a partner, if you will, to come onto my team and refer business to them and do consultations with them. And I just did it in each area that I needed, such as I was saying with the web development, the graphic design, autoresponders, the list goes on and on, incorporating your business. So I think that's where it comes from.
I think I like what you said about, you said a little earlier about volunteering. One of the things, like the young lady who was on my show two shows ago, she actually has a company that does pet apparel. But one of the things that she did was she went actually into the industry and she started volunteering at different pet centers and started to immerse herself in a situation where she became known in that area of her passion. Now, a lot of people, though, look at volunteering as, well, I will do this outside of my job, as opposed to just looking at this volunteering could be a means to push me to my job. Is that something that you found was a way of pushing you as well?
Oh, wow. Volunteering and helping open opportunities to me, because you go in there and you prove yourself. You know, you show that you're really committed and that it really is your passion and that you're excited about it. And when people see that, they take to it. And I think that's how you're able to move forward.
I think it's also a way for you to gain that knowledge into the industry. Yes. If you want to be like a radio DJ, why would you not go and volunteer at a radio station?
Exactly.
Or in television, go and actually put forth the time, because, like you said, it's paying your dues.
Exactly.
Now, if you were putting together your team and you went to these places and you found people who were experts in a specific thing that you wanted to know, did you actually volunteer for that person and allow them to teach you?
Yes.
So you took that and allowed it to help you, or did you practice it once you made it home?
First, I did it with people that I knew wouldn't be so abrasive with me. Some people that knew that I was still learning, but I also had some great ideas, and this would be a person that, I like to help bring along, is the kind of the response that I got from, a lot of the people that I volunteered to help with. So I think by making sure that you're doing it with the right person as well is also important, and that there is a reason behind it. Our time is valuable. I really believe that. So
I do too.
When you're putting your time into something, make sure that you're getting the value out of it, whether it's building rapport with somebody, whether it's exchanging business, or whether it's collaborating and unifying partnerships. I think those are all great reasons in order to be able to help get a team behind you and show people that you're just not about the money, that you really care about the people, and that you're passionate about what you do.
Now, I want to know if you would give a person who is on their job right now, and they are miserable, but they know that there's some things that they need to learn, that they can learn from their job. Would you tell them to make sure that they get as much as possible as they can out of that situation while they're working toward what it is that they want to do? Or would you just tell them to leave?
I would say, if you are, my dad's a perfect example of this. I'll share a little bit about my dad. My dad is a truck driver. He's been a truck driver for 20 years. But prior to that, he was a botanist. And his true passion was really in plants and landscaping and landscape architecture. And he did truck driving because it was something where it was a steady paycheck. It was an industry that never, went out of business, and it was consistent. And that was his main reasons for doing it. It wasn't until 10 years later that he started to slowly develop a passion for it because he was in it so long. But now, after 20 years, I've been talking to my father, and he's miserable. He doesn't like it at all. He's alone on the road too much. He has no room for relationships in his life. And he's at the age where he's about to, retire, and he really wants to get back into what he loves, which is doing plants. So funny enough, today, I actually had him go down to one of my clients' house and for free do their yard so he could get his hands, into those plants and just, feel it and gain that happiness again. So I can't wait to go back and, pick him up and see that smile on his face that he got to do that. So my advice to those people would be, go out and volunteer for what you really want to do while you're doing this, and then slowly create opportunities for yourself to get yourself where you want to go. Don't just sit in the job. Take action. Get outside of that. Immerse yourself in a community, and don't think of your job just as a paycheck. Think of it as an ends to a means to get you to your dream.
Oh, I love it. That was advice that people would pay millions for, because a lot of times we get so caught up in doing everything but following our dreams, because we do get caught up in paying the bills. That's something that we hear all the time. Yeah, we have to do it because we're paying the bills. But if it's something that you really love, you should look to volunteer and allow that to fuel you, because I think volunteering will definitely fuel him into going after what it is that he loves.
Well, I can't tell you how much free work I've done over the past 4 years. And I do it truly because I love it. And it can also be the downfall in a way, too, because you do so much free work that you really stop, thinking about yourself and your bills and what you have to do. Just because you're so immersed in helping people and being passionate. And when you can do something for free for so long, imagine what you could do if you're getting paid for it.
That's right. And the fact that you have your passion behind it is going to push you to be even better in the situation that you're in. So if you're out there and you're in these positions where you don't want to be, push forward with your creativity and your passions. Don't just sit on it. Volunteer when you can. However, make sure that you don't volunteer so much that you start being known as the person that will do it for free. Use it to create your businesses and follow in the footsteps of Mr. Carpenter and push forward with that. So I'm going to ask you this. I want you to tell someone who is right now on the edge of either teetering into the situation where they're going to push forward with their success, or they're afraid because they're saying, well, I know this is a steady paycheck. I want you to give them a little advice. What would you say to that person?
It's tough. Really, I came from that background, too, of working a 9-to-5 job for over 15 years. And I really felt that feeling of being stuck, and I didn't want to give up those paychecks. And as I started to look at it, that's the biggest fear of a lot of people that are going into business for themselves for the first time, is not having that steady paycheck, that security. How am I going to pay my bills? But you have to believe and you have to trust in it. And if you know your why, if you know why you're doing it, then the how will come to you.
Oh, man.
So you just really have to believe in it, and whatever your belief is, you know, believe in yourself as well. And I think when you do that, you'll get past that fear, and then you'll be able to push forward and start taking the action you need to.
See, your creativity just came out in the answer to that question. I think that was perfect. That was perfect. Now, we're going to actually take a short break, pay a couple of bills. When we come back, there is this big question that I have to ask. A question that I'm going to ask you, and I hope you're prepared for the answer.
Yes.
So we'll be right back on All in a Day's Work.
Are you tired of wearing the same accessories as everyone else around town? Are you fed up with paying top dollar for fashion jewelry that breaks after you wear it once or twice? Why not try a custom handmade piece from Cash Jewelry Creations? That's Cash with a K. Most of the pieces in the Cash collection are made with real gemstones and quality metals like sterling silver and stainless steel. Whether you want something fun and trendy or a touch of elegance for that special occasion, Cash Jewelry Creations can design a one-of-a-kind piece for you today. To view the Cash collection or talk about a custom design, call 702-403-2797. That's 702-403-2797. Cash Jewelry Creations. That's Cash with a K. Handcrafted with care. Ready to wear. The art of public relations and marketing is creating front-of-mind awareness in your customers through consistent and regular exposure to your message. Whether it's through effective traditional media campaigns, exciting sales copy, captivating social media campaigns, or compelling search engine-friendly web content, Classy Communications PR and advertising can create a positive image of you, of your values, and of the quality product or service you provide. Our stable of professionals are specialists in media and community relations, crisis communications, social media marketing, Hispanic marketing, and public appearance training. With such depth, we can help you with your other communication needs as well. For a free consultation, call us at 702-845-6129 or visit our website, classycommunications.net. Classy Communications, where words sing.
The song says, everybody wants to rule the world. Well, I can help managers, supervisors, and staff rule. Maybe not the world, but the workplace or just your corner of it. So if you're looking for more productive employees, more effective communication, and better company morale, contact me, Steven Hollingsworth, at 702-589-0993. That's 702-589-0993. Or visit my website at www.stevenhollingsworth.net and let me customize a seminar for your company today. Let's work together to make work better.
Saturday nights from 7 to 10, it's the Chill Zone with your host, Randy M. Join Randy as he takes you through a journey of smooth electronic music and beyond. It's the Chill Zone with your host, Randy M. Every Saturday night from 7 to 10, only on VegasAllNetRadio.com.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room.
All in a Day's Work is back, and I am with the great man, Mr. Josh Carpenter. And we've just had a wonderful, wonderful day, wonderful show, allowing people to know how they can take their creativity and make it into their basically their businesses, or even take what you're doing in your job and let that propel you into being great with your companies as well. I love it. I love it. I love it. I've loved every minute of it. But I have to ask you this question, okay? Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the big question. Imagine a 12-year-old boy sitting at Taco Bell, and he's looking at what he's going to be doing. What kind of advice would you give this 12-year-old entrepreneur that is sitting in Taco Bell with his mom?
Okay. The advice that I would give him is, in education nowadays, it's changed a lot since you and I went to school. And there's so many things that help students out there now in different kinds of classes that really take them to different levels in expressing their creativity. So be active in your school and definitely take on the projects that will lead you to your passion. And by doing that, you'll be surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded, and that will help fuel you. And then from there, you can start to emulate those people. And what I mean by emulate is that you can follow in their footsteps in some of the things that they did, and then start to create your own creativity in that and personalize it and make it, yours. You own it. And then also, I think Will's greatest things, he said, don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something.
Yes.
Don't let people's limiting beliefs tell you that you can't do anything. Possibility is out there. Continue to believe in yourself. And as you do that, you'll start to excel. Also, don't be afraid to be different. Steve Jobs, his logo, his tagline is think different. He pushed the edges of the envelope, and now every single one of us practically are holding an Apple or iPhone product in our hands. And it's that innovation that really fuels and separates the great leaders and great entrepreneurs and idea makers of today. And just follow the footsteps of the people that have shown us the way, like Mark Zuckerberg and, Tony Hsieh from Zappos. And I mean, all of these great leaders really look at, what their stories are and what they've been through. And I think that will be an inspiration to get you where you want to go and never give up.
I agree with all of that. Everything that you said, that's wonderful advice. Now, I want you to actually give the people the opportunity to know how they can get in touch with you and your company.
Yes, you can actually reach me at impactimagemarketing.com. And that will take you to my splash page that has all of my information and my social media presence on it. And you can contact me through that or visit me on Facebook at facebook.com/Josh J. Carpenter.
Oh, I think that was wonderful, wonderful. I think you have been a guest that has given us an awful lot of what we were looking for. And I thank you so much for being a guest on my show, because I think that everything that you have said has led people to understand use creativity, be who you are, make the moves if you need to, whether it is moving away from a company, whether it is volunteering till you can get your expertise up and then going away, or whether it is just using and becoming happy where you are. I love everything that you have said, and I look forward to bringing you on again as a guest as well.
That would be great. Thank you so much for having me.
I thank you so much for being a part of us, and I thank my audience for listening. And like all of those who have gone before you, you have to make your path. I want to ask you to continue to celebrate the Black History Month. We still have a couple of weeks left, so I want you to celebrate it as well, as they have made the way for us, and we will step into that. Once again, thank everyone for being a part of the show, and remember, it is good to have a job, but it's better to have one you love. Until next week, you stay blessed.
Because I'm not, I can't walk around like you, because I'm not, I can't do my thing like you, well, it just ain't hot. And if you're expecting me to give you an apology for being nothing like you used to, but go right on and head away. Wait off your breath and concentrate. Keep going until your face turns blue. Take my road, it ain't wrong.
Views and opinions expressed on this program were those of the hosts and guests and did not necessarily reflect those of Vegas All Net Radio, its affiliates, or its parent company.